Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Judicial Review interview. Today, we are going to interview people about the Judicial Review to see how much they know. Let's have Mackenzie ask the first segment questions to Abby.
Discuss what you feel is the most important about judicial review.
The most important thing about judicial review is that it interprets the Constitution and federal courts, and they're the ones that decide this.
And themes.
There are two different key themes, which are strict interpretation, which is goes under judicial restraint, and then loose interpretation that goes under judicial activism.
Okay, why are these ideas and themes important?
They are important because it shows that they are more complex things that go with judicial review instead of interpreting the Constitution.
Why should young people care to make sure they educate themselves about the Constitution?
They care because the Constitution and the judicial review, because they are the principle of American democracy and directly affect individual rights.
Next, Jose will be asking Sally questions about the second segment.
Where did the inspiration for the judicial review come from?
Judicial review got its inspiration from historical origins in New England and was developed in the U.S. It drew inspirations from Magna Carta and the Bill of Rights.
Okay, now it's time for Elizabeth to ask Mackenzie a few questions for segment 3.
How has judicial review evolved after being enacted?
The judicial review has evolved after being enacted because when it was first thought about, they didn't have all the different types of judicial review laid out. But since it was enacted, it started to form into different types, and now there are multiple different court cases that follow both loose and strict.
Did this principle exist in the colonial period?
Yes, judicial review existed in a limited form during the colonial period. The British Council reviewing the colonial laws while the concept was not fully established.
How did it change from the Articles of Confederation to Constitution?
Judicial review was not changed to the Constitution, but was instead established later by the Supreme Court itself in the 1803 case of Marbury versus Madison. We're done.
Next, Mackenzie will be asking Abby questions about segment 4.
Where can judicial review be found in the Constitution?
It's not found in the U.S. Constitution, however, it's implied in Article 3 and Article 4. It has been extended to all cases in Article 3, Section 2. Article 4's Supremacy Clause talks about the Constitution as the supreme law of the land.
What is a current example of the judicial review in action?
In action is a federal district court's decision to disqualify an acting U.S. Attorney Bill S.A. for multiple cases because he has stayed in the temporary role longer than permitted by law. This ruling is issued on October 28, 2025 in Southern California.
How can you convince young people to care about the Constitution and judicial review? Why is it relevant to every citizen, young and old?
Caring about the Constitution isn't about ignoring it. It's about making sure your rights stay safe and that you always have a voice in your own life and government.
In conclusion, judicial review summarized that the Supreme Court interprets all the laws and rules, and any government that rejects or doesn't follow these rules or laws of the Constitution is invalid. They have already invalidated hundreds of federal, state, and local laws. Okay, now it's time for Elizabeth to ask questions to Mackenzie. A few questions. Oh.
Interpretation. Go. Oh, sorry.
Inspiration for the judicial review come from?
Judicial review got its inspiration from historical origins.
Oh my God.
So where did the inspiration for the judicial review come from?
Judicial review got its inspiration from historical origins in England and was developed in the U.S. No, bro, she made
That was Abby, guys. That's Abby.